Good day. We have, I don't remember if I mentioned to you that our puppy had puppies, which was a total surprise to us. But my son is under the weather. He's got a cold and a slight fever, so he didn't want them in his bedroom sleeping because they keep making noise. So we're going to show you one of them. Okay, don't let you bite me. Okay, so this is the newest member of the family. We'll see if anybody's looking for a puppy. We did not expect you guys. But there's one, and then that's the girl. And then there's a boy. He's just bigger, fluffier, fatter, and sleepier. So he's sleeping right now. Mama is running around here taking care of them. Did she go out to go? Okay, so she's squared with her business. So this is a loony bin sometimes, but it is what it is. God gave us these beautiful creatures, and so we'll take care of them. And anyway, so they may be making a little bit of noise during Mass, and it unfortunately, this is the warm room with the wood stove, and this is where we want to keep them for now. All right, let me get set up for Mass. And so let's start again. Good day. Today is Monday. What is it? The 11th, I think? February 11th. So hello, Sister Jeannie and CJ, Sister-to-be, and Sister-to-be Maria. Good to see you all. And thank you, Peter, for your generous donation last night. Must have played that right with the Super Bowl. So I don't even know who played and who won. So I'm at a disadvantage. But I don't really care, to be honest with you. It's just another satanic event that occurs. I mean, if people want to watch it for making some money to donate to me, that's okay. But in any case, let's begin with morning prayers. We have an escaped puppy from the cage. So maybe the lady of the house can... I just don't want her to get to make little puddles anywhere. So the little puppy girl is very, very active and very noisy. And I'll just not say another word. Okay, they're locked in their cage. We're good to go. In nomine Dei, matronam nostri, et Deum Crucem et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Let us place ourselves in the presence of God and in Catholic contemplation humbly adore the Trinitarian Theophany. Two things that I just remembered when saying that. Thank you for those who began their Catholic contemplation challenge, Triple C. And, keep me posted on how you make out with that. And if you need any tips or pointers or anything, I am not an expert, but I do enjoy doing that because it is a joy to be in closer union with God. The other thing that I wanted to mention, and it just fell out of my head, was, it'll come to me again. Oh, okay. It was a question about Lent. Apparently Lent is coming up. And that little puppy just escaped again. So she knows how to push on that door to open it up. In any case, the door has to drop down. Okay. Yes, there's. I remember either it was last year or the year before. There was a question about Lent and Ash Wednesday, and yes, we do not do the ashes. Okay, if I'm correct, that originated from a Jewish practice, and there's information on the website about that. If you go up in the search bar to the left, on the main page, and you just type in, like, just let's say Ash Wednesday, and do a search, it'll pick up any article or information related to Ash Wednesday that's on the website. It's a great search tool within the website that helps you find something, a topic, you name it, and it'll give you multiple results. You get more results from an interior website search than you do on a regular Google search. That's how bad Google is censoring what they want you to be able to see. You can't, if you know the website already, you're fine. But anyway, I got off topic. So no Ash Wednesday. We will begin Lent, however, if you wish to sacrifice during Lent, that's fine. Okay. And again, we're the contemplation is a good way to sacrifice, because that's a twofold. It's a sacrifice because it takes you from your ordinary routine, and you have to make an effort to make that time and set it aside for that. And it's also a good experience. Well, this isn't working out with it. Now the mother's going back and forth from one puppy to the other. Oh, Madonna mi. Most holy and venerable Trinity, one God and three divine beings, I believe that thou art here present. I venerate thee with the deepest humility. I render to thee with my whole heart the homage which is due to thee. O God, relying on thine infinite goodness and promises, I hope to obtain the pardon of my sins, the help of thy grace, and life everlasting, through the merits of Deum Iesum Christum and Deam Matronam Nostrae. O God, I love thee above all things with my whole heart and soul, because thou art all good and worthy of all love. I love my neighbor as myself for love of thee, and I forgive all who have injured me and ask pardon of all whom I have injured. Let us thank God for the many graces that we receive and offer ourselves and our sufferings up to the Trinitarian Theophany. O God, I most humbly thank thee for all the favors thou hast bestowed upon me to the present moment. It is again thanks to thy bounty that I should live to see this day, and I desire to employ it solely in thy service. I consecrate to thee all my thoughts, words, actions, and sufferings of this day. Sanctify them, O God, that there may be none that is not animated by thy love, or that would not tend to thy greater glory. Let us make a firm resolution to avoid evil and to do good, and let us beg of God the graces which are necessary to us. O God, thou knowest my weakness, and that I am unable to do anything good without the help of thy grace. Deny me not thy grace, O God, proportionate to my necessities. Give me strength to avoid everything which thou forbiddest, to practice the good which thou hast commanded, and enable me patiently to bear all the trials which it may please thee to send me. O God, Our Lady, the Holy Mother of God, I place myself under thy protection. I throw myself with confidence into the arms of thy compassion. Be to me, O Mother of Mercy, my refuge in distress, my consolation in suffering, now and at the hour of my death. O my God, I am heartily sorry for having offended thee, and I detest all my sins, because I dread the loss of heaven and the pains of hell, but most of all because I have offended thee, my God, O good and deserving of all my love. I firmly resolve, with the help of thy grace, to confess my sins, to do penance, and to amend my life. Detachment from self and attachment to God. And that's a good way to begin your contemplation. Is a thought process of your closeness and attachment to Deum Matronam Nostrae. You could probably picture yourself moving away from yourself and moving towards God. A soul that seems to be approaching this state wrote the following lines, which are reminiscent of the pages we have just quoted from Tauler. In prayer, I sometimes feel this tearing of myself away from myself, which carries all my being into, quote, another. A tearing away which is brought about without any violence, but with power and gentleness, and with the sweet and complete consent of my will. This is my part. But what is Deum Matronam Nostrae's part, or Deum Iesum Christum? At the term of this movement, if I may thus express myself, for in this prayer this movement is continuous, I have felt as if two great arms entwined me. It was the abyss which closed over and swallowed me up in its infinite depths. When a ship sinks, the waters of the sea open up to receive it, then silently close over it. This is something similar. My whole being would break its bounds and cast itself into the other. Although often I do nothing in prayer, there is always more or less this secret and imperceptible movement which would draw me whither I cannot go. All graces, all supernatural impulsions emanate from the innermost depth wherein God acts, and literally bear me away into the infinite abyss. It is God within me who bears me away in God's self out of myself. Sometimes I feel that the grace is not completed, that it stops at the threshold of a grace of full union. Were the grace to attain its normal term, each time the result would be the embrace of two souls in a silence like that of eternity, but I remain on the threshold. When a grace of this kind is given to me, my active intellect and will are warned by the substance of my very soul. As, for example, when it is extremely cold, I feel the cold before thinking that the weather is cold. The physical experience precedes the judgment of the mind. Similarly, the experience felt in the substance of the soul, evidently it is from the experimental and mystical point of view and not from the philosophical point of view that I speak of the substance of the soul, precedes the idea of the gift received. Inversely, if I deliberately propose to touch an object that I know is very cold, the thought of the cold precedes the physical experience of the cold that I am about to feel. Likewise, my will and intellect can in an instant awaken the inert experience of the depths of my soul, which awaits but a stimulus to be revived. When my soul is powerless and empty, I do indeed deliberately intensify my oblation, and this act provokes at long intervals, as it were, an awakening. So that's a really, really good description of that detachment from self and attachment to God during a contemplation or when he's about to get to one. I'm going to read one quick subchapter, which I missed. It's called Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, lifts up the soul and prays in it. In the sermon for the second Sunday of Lent, Tauler also speaks of the pursuit of God. It provokes an appealing cry of immense power. It is a sigh coming from an endless depth and far exceeding nature. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum himself must utter this sigh in us. When the poor man, thus pursued, experiences this immense anxiety and cries to God with inexpressible sighs, and with such a desire that his appeal penetrates even the loftiest heavens, if God then acts as if God heard absolutely nothing or wished to know nothing, how greatly at this moment in the depths of the soul of man's desire should reach out and become more urgent. Then the soul, while abasing and humbling itself, should pray with confidence. These roads and these alone lead in truth and without an intermediary station, even to God. In a manuscript dealing with this subject, we read, "In this immensely powerful cry of appeal, there is an act of love of God which pierces the clouds, an act of love not obtained by impetuous outbursts. It is Deum Jesum Christum who passes by and gives rise in the soul to a movement which is extremely calm, tranquil like the peace of God, but which issues from the most profound depths of the heart, where love dwells and goes forth and touches Deum Jesum Christum in the unfathomable depths of eternity. This act of love is absolutely distinct from the most fervent acts that we ourselves make. When Deum Jesum Christum forms it in the soul perceives it because a little of its life ascends toward God. It is not so much God who by divine touch reaches the depths of the soul, but rather it is the soul which, lifted up by him, rushes rapidly toward him, as by a flight of incomparable gentleness, by an act of love which God alone can produce in it. These acts of love are always promptly followed by crosses, by great crosses, but everything goes well in this way. This is the progressive configuration to the Trinitarian Theophany." Deum vobiscum, quoque apud te. Oremus. O God, the Creator and Redeemer of all the faithful, grant to the souls of thy servants and handmaids the remission of all their sins, that they may obtain by loving prayers the forgiveness which they have always desired, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Suscipe Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum Hanc Immaculatum Hostiam, quam ego in ninius famulus tuus affediti Deum meum vivum et verum. pro omnibus peccatis et offensionibus et negligentis meis, et pro omnibus circumstantibus, sed pro omnibus fidelibus cata locorum vivis aquae defunctis, ut mihi et illis proficiat ad salutem. Deum qui humanae substantiae dignitatem mirabilita condidisi et mirabilis reformaster da nobis spiritus aqua divini mysterium est divinitatis esse consortis qui humanitatis nostrae. Fiat natus est patricebs Deum Iesum Christum Filium, qui te vivit et reinat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Offerimus tibi Deum calicem salutaris tuum de peccatis clementiam, ut conspecto divini majestatis tuae pro nostra, et totius mundi salute, cum adoris suavitatis ascendat. In spiritu humilitatis et in animo contrito suscipiam rete Deum Iesum Christum, et sec fiat sacrificium nostrum in conspecto tuo hodie, ut placeat tibi Deum matronam nostrae et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Veni sanctificator. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, et sanctificato blata prosequendo, et ecipere hoc sacrificium tua sanctum nomini preparatum. Suscipe Sancto Trinitas, hoc oblationem quam tibi efferimus, a memoriam passiones, resurrectionis et ascensionis Deum Iesum Christum, et in honorem Deum matronam nostrae, et a Papa Peter Sanctorum, et Istronum et omnium Sanctorum, ut illis proficiat ad honorem nobis autem et salutem, et idi pro nobis intercedere, et in internet celis, coram memoriam agimus in telis, per Deum Christum Deum nostrum. Orate, ut meam ec vestum sacrificium acceptabile fiat per Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Suscipia Deum Iesum Christum sacrificium de manibus tuis et laudam et gloriam nomini sui ad utilitatem quoque nostram totiusque ecclesiae suae sanctae. Deum vobiscum, quoque apate, surusum corda habemus ad Deum. Gratias agamus Deum nostrum, dignum et justum est. Te egitur limitessimi mater pater, Deum Mater Nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per Deum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum, Deum Nostrae, supplices rogamus ac petimus, ut ecipte ves et benedicas ex sanctam et sanctificas ex sanctam sacrificium illibatam. In primis que tibi afferimus pro ecclesiam tuam sanctam, catholicam quam pacificare custodire ad honore, et regere digneris toto orbite rarum atque catholicae. Memento Deum famorum que tuorum. We pray for the sick and the suffering. We especially pray for Father Finch, Father Warren, Katie, Gage, Neil and Earl Lively, Maria Josephina Mose, Ann Boltink, Henry, Barbara and Benedict Santa Croce, Mark Jr., Casey, John Cahill, Maria Lineweber, Mr. Nobody, the Cantu and Duarte families, Jenna, Lena, Lori, Aaron, and family, the Lineweber, Dosco, Nye, Tafur, Began, Wolf families, Alex Tafur, and Robert Santa Croce. Pray for Mr. Nobody to receive the funding and strength needed to complete the first Sede Vacantis Catholic Council Office at Monastery of Illinois. We pray for an end to all governmental allowance or sanctioning of abortion, transgenderism, transhumanism, child trafficking, child abuse of any kind, anywhere, place, or time. We pray for the establishment of a Catholic monarchy with a sound Catholic system of labor, human value, and medium of exchange. We pray for courageous men to step forward as leaders of this Catholic society. We ask for all gay, quote-unquote, gay marriage to be banned, and a reversal of the feminist ideology and a return to godly femininity and worldly sanity according to Catholic culture. We ask that women cease working for Freemasons and corporations everywhere and for all time, and that Catholic men set up this system so that both, so that men can have a wage that takes care of all their needs, and their wife may raise good Catholic children without the stress and worry of expenses. We ask Deum Matronam Nostra, Deum Iesum Christum, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, with this Mass to destroy the Church of Rome that lost its authority and is run by Jews and Freemasons. We also ask you to wake up Catholics that still follow the authority of the Vatican and to restore the lost faith of Vatican II Catholics. All these things we ask in accordance with God's holy and divine will. Et omnem circumstantium quorum tibi fides cognitas et nota devotio pro quibus tibi efferimus, vero qui tibi offront hoc sacrificium laudis proces visque omnibus, pro redemptione animarum suarum prospe salutis et calamitatis suae tibi credum vota sua aeterno Deum vivo et vero, communicantes et memorantes in primis gloriose semper Deum matronam nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et beatium martyrium tuorum Papae Sancti Petri, et Sancti Lucia, et Sancti Jacinta, et Sancti Francisco, et Sancti Juan Diego, et omnium sanctorum tuorum quorum meritis, praecibus quae concedas ut in omnibus protectionis tuae muniam exilio per innum Christum Deum nostrum, quam oblatione de Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum in omnibus, consecratem acceptablem quae fideli dineris ut nobis corpum, et sanguinem fiat didictissimi filium tuum Deum Iesum Christum, qui pridie quam patriator recepit panem in sancta sacramentis manus suas, et elevatis oculis in caelum ante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum suam omnipotentem tibi gratias agens, consecravit. Fregi didique lumnis sudicens accipite et mandocate ex hoc omnes. Hoc est enim corpus meum. Simini modo postquam ceremonias accipienser hunc precladam calicem in sancta sacramentis manus suas item tibi gratias agens, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, consecrave dedique lumnis sudicens accipite et vivite ex omnes. Hic est enim calix sanguinis mei, mysterium fidei, quae pro nobis et pro multis effundetur in remissionem peccatorum. Equit etiam quae facilitis mei mono facietis. Unde et memores Deum nos servituis et plebs tua sancto iustum Christum filium tuum Deum nostre, tam beata passiones nec non et ebent fedis resurrectionis, sed et in celos gloriosi ascensionis offerimus preclare maestati tudi tuis donis actatis, supra quae propitio axere novudur respicieri digneris. Supplices tergamus, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, ibe hec preferebe manus tuum, ut quod, ex hoc autaris participationem sacrosanctum Deum filium tuum, corpus et sanguinem semimus, omne benedictione celeste gratia Dei amor, per innum Christum Deum nostrae. We pray for those who have died. We especially pray for James Cogan, for whom this Mass is being offered, in my name's sake. Ipsis Deum et omnibus in Christum crescentibus, locum refugere lucis et pacis ut lodo gesta proclamor per innum Christum Deum nostrum, per quem hic omnia Deum Iesum Christum semper bona creas, sanctificas, vivificas, benedicis et prestas nobis, sanctifica et prestas nobis. Per ipsum et cum ipso et in ipso, est ibi Deum Matrum omnipotenti in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, omnis honor et gloria. Ave Dea matronam nostrae, gratia plena Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum tecum. Dea matronam nostrae, matram Deum Iesum Christum, misericordia nobis, peccatoribus nunc et in hora mortis nostrae. Libera nos quae sumus Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, abundibus malis, praeteritis presentibus et futuris, et intercedente beata gloriosa semper Dei matronam nostrae, cum Papa Petrum Sanctorum et omnibus sanctis do propitius Patrium et Diebus nostris. Ut opi misericordiae Tue aduite et peccato simus semper liberi et opundum perturbationes seculi. Per eundum Deum nostrum Iesum Christum Filium Tuum Deum nostrum, qui te vivet et renat in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per aeternam. Pax Deum Iesum Christum sit semper vobiscum et quoque apud te. Ecce mixtio consecratio corporis et sanguinis Deum Iesum Christum, fiat recipientibus nobis in ad salutem aeternam. Pax tecum et quoque apud te. Deum Iesum Christum, qui ex voluntate Deum matronam nostrae, qua parante Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, per mortem Tuum unum vivificasti, libera me per hoc sacro sanctum corpus et sanguinum Tuum abundibus iniquitatibus meis, et universis malis, et fac me Tui semper inharare mandatis, et nunquam separare permittas, qui cum eodem Deum matronam nostrae, Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, vivi serenam aeternam. Percepto corporis Tui Deum Iesum Christum, quod ego indinius sumere presumo, non mihi proveniet indicitium condonnationem, sed pro tua pietate prosit mihi attutamente metis corporis, et ad medelum percipiendum qui vivi serenas, cum Deum matronam nostrae, in unitate Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum, in panem celestem accipiem, et nomen Deum Iesum Christum invocabo. Deum matronam nostrae non sunt dignius, ut et meam sentanta verba sabator nona mea. Deum Iesum Christum non sunt dignius, ut et meam sentanta verba sabator nona mea. Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum non sunt dignius, ut et meam sentanta verba sabator nona mea. Corpus Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima mea. Quid retribuam Deum Iesum Christum, pro omnibus quae retribuit mihi, calicem salutaris accipiem et nomen Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum invocabo, laudans invocabo Deum matronam nostrae et ab inimicis meis salvus ero. Sanguis Deum nostrum Iesum Christum custodiet anima meam. Quodore subsimus Deum Iesum Christum piedamente capiamus et immunum et tempore fiat nobis remedium semper aeternam. Corpus tuum Deum Iesum Christum, quod subsis sanguis competabe here fescherbus meis presta, ut in menor Armenia scelera macula quem pura sancta religiosa sacramenta. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote. Oremus. May the prayer of thy suppliants profit the souls of thy servants and handmaids. We beseech thee, O God, that thou mayest free them from all sins and make them sharers in thy redemption, who livest and reignest with thee, one God, forever and ever. Deum vobiscum, quoque apote, ite mises, Deum gratia. Placia tibi sancta Trinitam obsequem servitutis mei e presta, ut sacrificium coroculis tuae majestatis in henus optore tibi setatatae miquet omnibus, pro quibus irutu optule, sit te miserante propitiabile per Christum Deum nostrum. Sanctificat vos omnipotens Deum, Matronam et Filium et Spiritum Sanctum, Deum Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. O God, I believe, I venerate, I hope, and I love thee. I beg of thee pardon for those who do not believe, do not venerate, do not hope, and do not love thee. Most holy Trinitarian Theophany, I venerate thee profoundly, and I offer to thee the most precious body, blood, soul, and divinity of God Jesus Christ, who was, is, and ever shall be, present here in reparation for the outrages, sacrileges, and indifference by which he himself is offended, and through the infinite merits of his most sacred heart and the immaculate heart of God, our Lady, who was, is, and ever shall be, I beg of thee the conversion of poor sinners. In nomine Deum, Matronam Nostrae, et Deum Iesum Christum, et Deum Patrum Spiritum Sanctum. Gracias. Okay, I'm going to see if puppy number 2 wants to come to say hello. Let's see if I can reach him. He's kind of far in the cage here. Come here, bud. Yeah, of course, Mama has to come. Yes, I know. She's all worried. All right, Mama, it's okay. I'm just showing pug face here to the crowd. Oh, there's a big yawn. Yeah, I know. It's all right. I'm putting him back. Don't worry. There we go. Okay. Okay. So there. I'm glad she only had 2, and we don't know who the father is. You think I knew better than that, right? My goodness. Anyway, thank you for joining me today and for being patient. That is one of the virtues. It's just like I am. I had to be patient with these animals. I'm not a big dog fan, but they are growing on me, actually. So, in any case, we'll see you tomorrow. Please go and sanctify all those who you meet. And again, the day 2 of the CCC, the Catholic Contemplation Challenge. All right, we'll see you tomorrow.